we will be discussing 2 of the 3 topics for week 4. So, week 4 covers overview of total quality tools, continuous improvement methods, and optimizing controlling processes through statistical processes control. So most of this would tackle on the different tools, methodologies, techniques used in the quality management. So in here, we will be talking on the different total quality management tools and what are their uses, including examples of these tools. So let us start. So total quality management tools will help the organization to identify, to analyze, and to assess qualitative and quantitative data that is relevant to the business. So this involves numbers, and some may also involve non-numerical data in order to identify and analyze and even to assess the performance of the business. So these tools can identify procedures, ideas, statistics, cause and effect concerns, and other issues relevant to the organization. So according to ISO 9000 standards, the number of TQM tools is close to 100. So there are many total quality management tools used in different organizations. This includes brainstorming, focus groups, check sheets, charts and graphs, diagrams, and other analytical tools. Okay. But remember that these total quality management tools does not necessarily involve numbers. Just like what I have told you, that this also includes qualitative tools, like for instance the brainstorming, the focus group. These are not quantitative tools, these are qualitative tools, and later on you will know how these tools are used. So total quality tools or total quality management tools illustrates and aid in the assimilation of complicated informations. So such informations includes identification of target audience, assessment of customer needs, competition analysis, market analysis, brainstorming ideas, productivity changes, various statistics, staff duties and workflow analysis, statement of purpose, financial analysis, model creation, business structure, logistic analysis. So those are just some of the informations that requires the use of these total quality management tools. Okay, so let us proceed to the tools. So the following tools are some of the most common tools used in today's business performance or business analysis. So it is used for and identify specific information in a specific manner, and also the tools may inhibit different understanding of the data provided. Okay, so let us have first the check sheet. So a check sheet is a special type or a special types of or forms for data collection. They make it easier to collect data, and they tend to make the data collection effort more accurate and tend to automatically produce some sort of data summarization. Okay, so in short, a check sheet is like this. So this one is a check sheet or a tally sheet. So in here, it is illustrated that there is a defect in a certain process. In the example, for example, in the painting defects, maybe the painting process of an item or a car or whatever it is. Okay, so there are different processes in the painting process. So blistering, light spray, drips, overspray, splatter runs, and others. So these are the defects. So using the check sheet, you can identify how many defects or how many items have defects in blisters, how many items have defect in spray, drips, overspray, or splatter runs, and others. And then it will be summarized later after the tallying is done. So it is an example of a check sheet. You can also use that in the business, or even you as a student. You're going to write all your responsibilities, all the activities, and then you're going to check kung asa nadapita na human or kung asa dapita ang wala pa na human. Okay, things like that, for you to be able to monitor the progress of your activities. So let's have the flow chart. So flowchart is very simple. This is just a flow or sequence of events in the process of any product or service. You are familiar with that already. Example. So this is an example of a flowchart. So flowchart. Okay. So flowchart can, I actually, this is not really the example, but this is the symbols that you will be using if you're going to make a flowchart. So you have the oval shape, the square shape, the diamond shape, the circle, the lines. Okay. So oval shape is used to show the material, information, or action, or inputs. Box or rectangle is used to show a task or activity. And then diamond shows points in the process where you have to say where there is a yes or no question, okay, being asked. Yeah. Circle is either a letter or number identifying a break in the flow chart. And the arrow shows the direction of the flow or the process. So for instance, this one. Okay, I will show this as an example. So this is an example of a flow chart. Okay, so there is the start of the process is oval, so paper arrives, and then this is a process of incoming paper at printing press. So this is a process of incoming paper in the printing press. So first is you will be using the oval shape where muna siya ang pinaka-start sa process, the paper arrives, and then the next is the incoming inspection. Yes ba or no? So, if yes, then proceed to storage, then to the next process up to the end. So, you have also to take note using the flowchart. What are the corresponding shapes in the flowchart you will use? So, do not forget that when you make a flowchart, a circle shape symbolizes that is the start, and a triangle shape, not a triangle, a diamond shapes that is used if the process answers a yes or no question. So, kung yes siya, then it will go to another process. And if no, it would also go to another process. So, that's it. So, next is a scatter diagram. A scatter plot gives you a visual idea of what is happening with your data. Scatter plots are similar also to line graphs. So, scatter diagram is different with check sheet and flowchart, because check sheet and flowchart, this does not require you numerical values for you to interpret or to analyze the data gathered. However, you only need brainstorming or ideas from the team for you to be able to analyze the situation. But with scatter diagram, pie charts and histogram, you will be using a numerical data for you to be able to analyze it. So scatter diagrams is you are going to plot the data through a scatter plot or a line graph. Example. So this is the data that you will be using here. The ice cream sales versus the temperature. So, if the temperature is high or low, would that affect to the sales of your ice cream? Okay, so using the data, you are going to plot that in a scatter plot. So, ana siya. So, it is now easy to see that warmer weather leads to more sales. But in here, you also have to remember that, or you have to put in mind that there are also different patterns in the scatter plot. So if this one is the pattern, then this is a negative. The pattern has a negative relationship, positive relationship, negative relationship, and ana. But let us not talk about that because it will complicate the example. The purpose of introducing this one to you is for you to be able to be aware of what are the tools used in total quality management, but let us not really dig deeper on it. I'm just showing you an example. So, ice cream sales, these are the data mo na kung gingon sa inyo ha, that it requires a numerical data for you to be able to analyze the tool. Okay. So, another one is the pie charts and bar graphs. So used to identify and compare data units as they relate to one issue or the whole, such as budgets, vault space available, extent of funds, and others. So pie charts, you still need to have a quantitative na data for you to be able to use the tool. So pie chart, dili na lang nako na siya present ang sample because a pie chart is is a big pie or is a circle, and then there are sections or ansa na siya, the circle is divided into sections depende kung depende sa data na inyong magather. And bar graphs also is just a graph with bars. Histogram is another tool that used to examine various data element in order to make decisions regarding the effective regarding the various data. So effective when comparing statistical, survey, or questionnaire result. So for example, the histogram portrays a frequency distribution. Medyo lisod-lisod din siyang histogram, pero if magamay na ni ang pagbuhat ani, then it would be very easy. So what do histogram do? So naa ka diha dapat frequency distribution. Okay. Histograms is common in statistics. If you have statistics, then you can you can relate to this. So these are the example. These are the scores of 50 students. Madal na itong gamiton kay mamanay kasagaran gamiton. So among 50 students, mauni ang ilahang scores. So we will be getting the frequency. Okay, so pila kabuok nila ang 78, pila kabuok nila ang 80, pila kabuok nila ang 95. Nga na. So in number 1, decide how many classes to use and other range each class should cover. So na siya class interval. In statistics na pud na siya measurement on how to determine or to decide kung pila ka classes or pila ka interval. So next is determine the width of the class interval by using this equation. So highest value minus lowest value, okay, divided by 6 mo ni ang total number of classes. Okay, so for example, kung naka-decide na ka kung pila ang number of classes, then i-divide nimo ang highest value, ang result sa highest value o sa lowest value. So mo na ang imuhang interval. So sort the data number 3 into points classes and cut the number of points in each class. And so it is like for example, so ang class interval nimo is or total number of class, ang class interval kintahay nimo is 6. So na-identify na nimo that you have this. So 31, 32, 33, 30. No. The class interval is 11. So 31 to 41, 42 to. So imo na siya ang 11. So 31 to 41 pila man kabuok ana dito sa class distribution nimo. So 2. So imo na siyang itali. Okay. Then from 42 to 52 pila man kabuok sa imong distribution among 50 students ang nadiha. So imo na siyang itali. And dapat mo total na siya og 50. Then after that, okay, so after that, tali nimo ang frequency, i-illustrate na nimo ang data nimo using the histogram. So man na siya. So from 31 to 41 na ay 2 kabuok. 42 to 52 na ay 3 kabuok. Then you will determine kung asa nga range ang pinakadaghan o pinakadaghan ang frequency. Okay, so in the example data 75 to 85 ang pinakadaghang estudyante. Sa example lang grado ni nila. So daghang mga students ang grado nila range from 75 to 85. So among 50 kabasbuk student, ang mga students nga nakakuha og 75 to 85, ang range silang grado is 19 kabuok. So ana lang siya. So this also there are different uses of histogram in business, but kanila kung give show sa inyo para mas makarelate mo. Then the next one is the Pareto chart. So the purpose of Pareto analysis is to separate the vital few from the trivial many. So, like for example, 80% of defects comes from 20% causes. So, first is you have to decide which problem you want to know more about. Yeah. Choose the cause and problems that will be monitored, and choose the most meaningful unit of measurement. Gather the necessary data. So, how do you construct a Pareto chart? So, you will be identifying katong mga causes kintahay or mga problems. So, too much sauce, not enough cheese, scratch crust too hard, service too long, poor topping selection. I think let's just assume nga kani siya is kuan ni siya sa restaurant ni siya nga na maligya kintahay og pizza. Okay. So, too much sauce. Ang nag-ingon og too much sauce, 16 ka buo customer. Not enough cheese, 38 ka customers. So, out of 202 ka customers, ang pinakadaghan nila og reklamo or wala kayo ganahay sa service is gahi ang crust sa pizza na ilahang gibaligya. That is 43%. So, using that Pareto chart, or the data, the frequency and the percentage data, so imo na siyang i-graph. So, in here, ang kalahian lang sa histogram o Pareto chart, kaya ang Pareto chart, imo siyang i-arrange from, sabi na siya, descending, ascending order, kanang asa ang pinakataas to pinakagamay. So, if you are going to look into the chart, around 43% of the customers find the crust too hard. Yeah, 28% of them find that the topping selection is poor. So, it would be easier for you to analyze the data. Kumpara kung number siya. So, muna siya ay usa sa mga benefits if you are going to use graphs. Scatter diagram. Okay, the Fishman diagram. The Fishman diagram is very simple. This does not require numerical values or numerical data. You just have to identify kung unsa ang pinaka-root cause sa problem. So, ibutang na nimo ang from the word Fishman diagram, the bone, kana fish bone diagram. So, aron nimo ibutang sa head ang problema, ang pinaka main or the root cause, and then you are going to identify mga areas nganong or the causes nganong na ni-occur na siyang problem. So, it's just like that. Very simple. Okay, I need not to discuss further the Fishman diagram kay mas sayon raman ni siya. So again, imong isulat diri, you will be identifying a problem. So unsa man ang pinaka root cause sa problem. So unsa man ang problem, and then sa mga bukog sa fish, you are going to write the causes ana nga problem. Okay. There are still other total quality management tools like the brainstorming and affinity diagrams, the tree diagram, the flowcharts and modeling diagrams. Okay, so kani sila wala na nanginahanglan og kanang numbers para ma-analyze. Usually this is the source of the information in using this type of tools are from the people or from the team na brainstorming of ideas dayon, like you are going to meet and then you are going to identify kung unsa ang mga problems existing in the business. Yeah, with that dito gamon ang mga tools, but it doesn't mean that all of these tools must be used. It depends kung unsa nga klase nga situation or kung unsa nga problem ang ilahang dapat na i-examine, then it would also depend kung unsa nga tools ang ilahang gamiton. Okay. So next, let us proceed to the next topic. So what is continuous improvement? Okay. So you will often hear continuous improvement in total quality management. Maugid na siya ang kanunay na madungga na to when we implement or when we adopt total quality management. So, continuous improvement is a never-ending strive for perfection in everything that the company do. So imagine that a never-ending customer drive to perfection. Meaning to say that for you to be able to achieve perfection, you need to continuously improve in all phases or in everything that you do. So it helps you identify opportunities for work processes enhancements and reducing waste. And it seeks to improve every process in your company by focusing on enhancing the activities that generates most value for your customer while removing as many waste activities as possible. So, ang pinaka-core when we talk about continuous improvement is you are to work on the processes of enhancement or work on the processes for improvement and removing or reducing many waste activities. So maningkamot ta that we can continue to enhance the work process and reduce. Okay, so while we continue to enhance the work process, we also make sure that we are reducing and removing waste activities in the process. So, muna siya continuous improvement. Okay. So, there are three major approaches for achieving continuous improvement. Okay. And this approaches is the plan, do, check, act, or the PDCA cycle. So, the PDCA cycle includes or involves four phases. First is the planning phase, the do phase, the check phase, and the act phase. In the planning phase, you need to establish the objectives and processes necessary to deliver results for the expected output. So, muna siya ang pinaka-target or pinaka-goal sa inyuhang pagpaningkamot na ma-improve ang work process. Okay, so in the planning phase, you establish the objective, you establish the goals, unsa yun yang gusto nga i-improve. Then in the do phase is it is straightforward as you need to execute what you laid down during the process of planning. So objectives, and then how are you going to act how are you going to do the plans? Then you need to check what you have achieved and compare it to what you expected. Okay. So, 'di ba nagplano ka in the planning stage, and then in the do phase, you are establishing how are you going to execute your plans. Then abot sa check phase, you are going to compare whether or not the expected outcome and the expected outcome and the actual outcome is achieved. So that's in the checking phase. And then gather as much data as possible and consider what you can improve on your process to achieve greater results next time. So that's the plan, do, check, act, or the PDCA. Next is the root cause analysis. In the root cause analysis, there are a lot of problems that you or the company may encounter, or the process flow of the business may encounter. So, what you're going to do in the root cause analysis is you are going to identify the problem, and then what causes the problem. So, identify nimo ang usa ka problem, and then after identifying the problem, you're going to dig deep asa man gyud ang pinaka root cause aning problem. Okay, so with that, as an example here, there's a problem. Lots of bug reports from customers after the last release. So this is this example is on naay isa ka what do you call that, software na ilahang gi develop dayon after release of that software. After the release of that software, the team was bombarded with daghan kaayo nga bug reports from their customers. So what they do is they need to look into the root cause of the problem. So investigate first kung unsay mga nahitabo and nganong ingana ang result sa ilang pag launch sa ilahang bagong na develop na software. So first is why na the quality assurance failed to run all the necessary tests on the software. So maybe siguro daghan og bug tungod kay wala na run ang tanang mga necessary test nga dapat i-run before the launching of the software. Another is development team were ready with the features that were to be released at the last minute, or maybe because last minute na ang preparation sa ilahang kato mga features nga ilahang gi-add dito sa software, or it took the development team more time when you have planned to develop the features in the first place, or each developer worked on a few features simultaneously and you haven't placed any regulations on the amount of work that can be progressed. So tanan nga mga possible causes, it has to be identified in the root cause analysis. Okay, kung asa ba yun anin sa tanang mga identified causes ang pinaka-rason nga no nga ni-fail ang ilahang or naay discrepancy ang ilahang gihimo na software. So ana ang root cause analysis. Okay. Root cause analysis is also used in different organizations. Like for instance, in the institution, in the school, we are doing a root cause analysis every year. Okay, for us to be able to identify kung unsa ang mga problema ug unsa ang angay nga mga i-improve on that problem and to eliminate that identified problem in the future. So next is the Lean Kanban. This Lean Kanban is not popularly used in the Philippines, or maybe there are some of companies who are using this, but this is not really common, or maybe lahi ang term nga ilahang gigamit. So the Lean Kanban is a way of visualizing what needs to be improved clearly. So, kinahanglan ni siya og visualization sa mga panghitabo sa processes within the business. So, you will be able to improve from time to time but won't be able to spot symptoms of a problem kung dili ka kung kulangan ka o you lack the visibility sa process. So, the method relies on 6 core practices for minimizing waste in your process. So, visualize your workflow, eliminate interruptions, manage the flow, make process policies explicit, create feedback loops, and improve collaboratively. So, kung ikaw ang team leader ani nga area, you really have to kinahanglan nga wide ang imuhang visualization. Wala pa na siya nahitabo, na visualize na siya nimo na ani ang mahitabo. So that's Lean Kanban. So in the Lean Kanban, you have to use kasagaran ana kanang Excel. Okay. Excel para ma-monitor nimo ang progress sa imuhang process. Gitawag nga Kanban board. So in the Kanban board, mo ni siya sulod mga to-dos, in progress, or done. So we're some of these are kaning lean Kanban. We are using this already sa smart sheet. Like, what are the things that we have to accomplish or we need to accomplish within this week? Since we are already doing the online class or online work from home. So instead of meeting every day, what you have to do is just to write all or list down all the things that you need to do for this week. Unya, unsa man siya? Are you in progress or waiting pa ba ni siya or working pa ni siya or completed na ba ni siya? So with that, ang imuhang team leader or even the manager could monitor how far have you or how far are you in your task or how far are you in your responsibilities. So the Kanban board itself is a great feedback loop generator because it makes it visible who is doing and what is he or she doing at any time. So ana ang Kanban techniques. Gigamit na siya pero dili lang familiar sa ato ang iyang term. Because we are also using that already in the online setup that we have now. Now we have we use the smart sheet for us to track our activities, our task for the week. So that is a lean Kanban. So I don't know if some of the businesses are using the same word, but it depends on the terminologies nga gigamit sa usa ka organization kung unsa ni siya, but the idea is here you are going to track or you are going to make all the tasks, all the responsibilities, all the practices visible to the organization or to the management. Okay. For the topic on optimizing and controlling processes through statistical process control, this is quite complicated. So I am posting a short video presentation taken from or retrieved from YouTube. Simple rapod siya nga discussion. So I would like you to watch on that for a more comprehensive nga discussion kay dili ko kaayo niya ka-relate sa iyahang core or sa iyahang main nga topic, or may ka-relate ko but I can hardly discuss this to you. So nangita na lang ko og video. So I hope that you learn something from our lesson this after on these topics, and hopefully this helps you, or may you can also apply the tools and you can also apply the techniques in your daily life, or even in your simple lang na mga, if you have businesses, mga online business, or even in your personal na mga applications. So thank you and have a great day.